everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brain Dead Gaming. And today, we're having a very special episode because it's not Brain Dead Gaming, it's Brain Dead people on the internet. But first, Chungus has an announcement that I have to make time for, so that's certainly fun. You guys, bye. Hello, everybody. And before we start today's video, I'd like to give a shout out and believes that 2 plus 2 is 5. Or even 12 for that matter. So anyway, recently I've been going through YouTube polls, which is and a lot of them really should be quizzes, because that's also a feature for some reason. Like what? But anyway, one very notable one I came across recently was this thing. It's a YouTube poll. 1 minus 2 equals what? 95% of people got -1. Perfectly reasonable. That's the correct answer. 2% of people got 0. Also reasonable. Anything below 0 can just be rounded to 0 because you're getting into negative numbers. A lot of people just don't mess with negative numbers. I don't want to mess with negative numbers. 2% of people got 3. Which is strange because 3 is larger than the number that's being taken from. And somehow 2% of people ended up with 12. And yet there's an even bigger issue with this image. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 6% plus 95% equals 101%. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. But it was really this one person in the comments that I found infuriating. Okay, so -1 is the traditional answer. However, even in mathematics, there should be a gradual shift towards recognizing that innovative thinking is necessary in order to break new ground. There is only one thing wrong with that argument. And that is that it's about mathematics. The one subject where there is only ever one correct answer. So, but it ain't 12. Because, 12 is one of the answers that some people got, which is crazy. Okay, but let 12 be the only exception for a possible result. The only correct answer is -1. Hold on, it's taking me just a bit. There we go. Yeah, me. Well, actually, there are an infinite possible wrong answers because the answer is -1. You are a prisoner of tradition? What does that even mean? That's my reaction now? That was my reaction when I responded to that reply. So, basically what I said was, alright, you have 2 apples. I give you 2 more apples. How many apples do you have? 4? Oh, you're just a prisoner of tradition. What does that even mean? So, they responded, first and foremost, I'm a prisoner of my body and its physical needs. My guy, you are not a super genius who has a human body. The fact that you are in a human body is not your only limiting factor. If you give me 2 apples for the second time, I still only have 2 apples because I ate the first 2 long ago. Alright. So, see, this is something that a lot of people do in arguments, in which they add context that doesn't exist. Because In the context that I provided, I have given him 2 apples, and then I gave him another 2 apples. In the context that he added to that was that I had given him 2 apples, waited a long time, then gave him another 2 apples. In order to fit his argument, he changed what I had said. And then he continues, and several years later, I would have a great many apples because I planted all the seeds. Again, he's adding context that doesn't exist. He continues, but you put your 4 apples on an arithmetic textbook and rejoice in the eternal beauty of mathematics. No, I'm just not. I just passed 5th grade math. That's all there is to it. Only after a while, there is only a small pile of compost where the apples once lay. But I am called stupid here because I eat apples and plant their seeds. This guy really wants to be a philosopher. He really, really wants to be a philosopher. And quite frankly, that would be great for him. I want him to talk about anything but math. Literally anything. And then he continues, and with regard to the original task, someone gives you an apple, and then sometime later you give them 2 apples back. I would love to look at the 1 negative apple you still have left over. You see, he thinks that's a good argument, because he at least knows that when you have a negative amount of something, you don't have any of it. You are, in fact, in debt of said thing. But the thing is, that's not a good argument. Because he just admitted that 1 minus 2 leaves you with -1. He just managed to prove himself wrong in an attempt to sound smart. He continues, but with my approach, it is entirely possible that I will still have 12 apples left over. Okay. So, yes, it is quite possible that if you plant seeds, you'll have more of the fruit. But also, I'm only using apples as an example to explain basic addition. Anyway, I realized I should not have been rude to this person. So I do apologize for that if you're seeing this. And so I responded, "No, you're called stupid because you say 2 plus 2 is 2, and then you have more than 2 later. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 minus 2 is -1. Picture it like gravity. No matter how much I question and come up with creative ideas for what gravity does, gravity pulls things. Nothing I do, say, or want will change that." Then he responds with, "Realists, and I include you among them, remain on the ground because because nothing they say, do, or want can change gravity. Visionaries, however, build hot air balloons, paragliders, and rockets, and fly." So, you see, that's not a terrible argument. It's not a terrible argument. It's still a bad argument. Rockets don't change gravity. They can counteract it. Gravity still pulls things. And that's what I responded with. That doesn't change gravity. That works around it. Which I'm all for. 'Cause I am. Find a way. If anyone can find a solution for a problem, all the more power to them. Please, if you have a problem, like, you want to do something, find a way to do it. As long as it's legal and stuff. There's one distinct factor to that solution must have. It must work. I'm glad that you guys, hopefully the ones you guys who are watching my videos can understand basic math. Because this person is applying philosophy to mathematics, and that's just not a great combination. This person's not stupid, do not harass them. No one's watching me, so I can guarantee that no one's gonna go harass them for what I say. But I figured I might as well include it anyway. Yeah, don't go harass this person. Harassment is bad. Be good at math. Do not argue with strangers on the internet about what 1 minus 2 is, unless you're arguing for -1, because otherwise, you're wrong. Okay, thanks for listening to me ramble, because I if this video gets enough views, I'll update you if anything else happens. But I doubt it will, so. Goodbye! How do I turn this thing off? Actually, wait, hold on. Why is it not working?